Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Simply Nerdy. This is Anthony hosting today, and I'm joined by the full panel. And incidentally, we are, as of time of recording, doing this on St. Patrick's Day, so we're all wearing proper green. Just in case you were wondering.
I'm wearing improper green. Actually, I'm wearing somebody who is wearing green, so it counts.
Counts. So we wanted to do a quick recording to do a little bit of a hype discussion for Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, which comes out this Thursday. Again, as of time of recording. This was at my suggestion because I think of all of us here, I'm probably the one most excited for it. Basically, we're just going to do a quick kind of round of thoughts of all the members of the panel, who's going to get it, what they're excited about, and stuff like that. And I'm going to let everyone go first because otherwise I'm going to talk about it the whole time away. So I'll just let you guys go by show of hands or sound of voice. Go.
I'm excited for. First thing is that we'll probably get reviews like tomorrow. And those reviews will tell us how cool the new story elements will be, in addition to other new features that we might not have been aware of. I'm kind of excited for that. I want to know if the new story is gonna be as cool as we hope it will.
And this is coming from the perspective of someone who didn't experience the original. So
I know, like you were saying, Anthony and Lisa were pretty disappointed with Xenoblade X as a as a sequel to the original Xenoblade. It had like no story connection. The story it did have, you were both pretty disappointed with.
The ending was the thing that offended me the most, and so that's kind of just a teaser for one of the reasons I'm most excited about this. But anyway,
this idea that they're adding story has me super intrigued, especially after the reveal trailer for it, right? And some of the wording was changed. You took note of that, Anthony, especially. The world disappeared in a flash of light instead of explicitly saying aliens destroyed it, right?
Yeah, I think there was a later trailer that maybe cast some uncertainty on whether or not that was an intentional change, or I don't know. I didn't watch it because I was offended by it, and so I'm just going to go in blind. But in that first trailer, yes, they said the voice of Lynn, one of the characters from the game, she says Earth was swallowed by a shroud of light or something like that, which is a lot more continuity canon friendly.
Yeah, so Anthony, that idea that it'll maybe be tied into the main series has me most interested, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that possibility. And I don't know if the reviews will help us know that whether that's true or not. And maybe they would avoid saying so because it could be spoilery, but
in some ways I'm almost expecting it to be a little divisive. There's and maybe I guess it depends because there's definitely a very avid fan base for the original game, but I think it's safe to say that it was also a very small fan base because it couldn't have been more than 12 million people, and it was almost certainly less than that.
Okay, but Food for Dogs liked it, and so that means that it gets a lot of points.
Yeah, she's a sweet old lady. But anyway, what I was saying is like, I expect some people will find it divisive, but also hopefully the greatly expanded install base of the Switch will give it quite a few more people trying it out, and maybe there will be some different opinions. I, for one, don't think that they could disappoint me more than they did before, so I think it's only uphill. And I need to be careful with my clarifications here. I actually really enjoyed Xenoblade Chronicles X, the Wii U version, quite a bit as a game. It was just not what I considered to be a suitable follow-up to one of my favorite RPGs of all time. Was it a great game? Yes. Were there things that I had against it? Sure, but when it it's supposed to be a follow-up to a game that has some of my favorite music and favorite narrative ever and favorite characterization, and to me they strip all of those things, or at least make them like several tiers down in terms of quality. That's what bothered me. But that being said, going into so apparently I decided to just start talking and not let the rest of it say.
Don't worry, I already hit the important stuff. Cave song.
Cave song.
Move on.
Cave song. And also a little bit as a dark horse from Lisa's perspective, the Manon song.
Oh, actually, yes. How did you know I like that one?
Because you used to talk to me about it all the time.
I wasn't going to mention
like-
more than one song I liked, but yes, I like that one a lot. Wait. I'll just say my other thing, because I just have two.
Okay.
My other specific thing is maybe I'll actually use my skell this time. And maybe it'll be a lot better. Yeah.
Never used it, huh? That's interesting.
Like, they make me spend $1 million for it and then expect me to take it out where it can get shot.
The one thing that Lisa here prevented herself from learning is that as long as you're good at the QTE button presses, which the game doesn't make exactly hard, that you don't have to spend any money when it gets destroyed. So silly, Lisa. Skells are for people who take risks.
Oh, dang.
Just kidding.
Anthony's fired. He can't do the rest of his spiel.
Okay. I forget what I was saying before, so I will come back around to it, and I'm just going to let one of
Perfect.
Steven or Austin start saying words.
Yeah, so I'm coming into this game blind. I've never played it. I've only seen the trailers for the new game, and I remember seeing the trailers for the original as well. But I really have no context of what's going to be going on or what's happening. I know you get those mechon suits, whatever they're called, at some point, but a skell. You get the skell. But yeah, I'm super excited to get into it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get it on release day because I'm saving for the Switch 2, and that would take away from my Switch 2 fund. So I'll be getting it as soon as physically possible. Once I have that money secured for the Switch 2, I'm definitely getting this game. I'm definitely playing it. I cannot wait.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
And I'll let Austin go.
So yeah, similar to David and Steve, I'm also going into this rather blind. I've only seen the trailers, but I am really excited for it. I do plan to get it. The question is when. And that all depends on when I can convince my wife. So I'm hoping to actually be able to stream it for the channel. So if people are interested, stay tuned. There may be a live stream or maybe recorded gaming videos coming, and I'll upload that series to this channel. And yeah, I'm really excited for it. I'm similar to David, what he said. I'm really intrigued to see how they, if they at all, connect it with the other stories. I have chatted with Anthony a few times about the game, so I'm trying not to let my preconceived notions determine how I feel about the game when I play it. But
I couldn't help myself, and I showed him the bowel movement song, and that was his first impression of the game. So,
for those who are listening for the first time, do you want to explain to them what that is? What is the bowel movement song?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of the areas of the fandom where I'm on the wrong side of favorability, apparently, because there's a lot of people who really love the soundtrack. I have learned to like a lot of its music, but for me, I think my main complaint against it was a stylistic departure from what I loved about the original. So keep that in mind for context. But this song I will defend to my grave as just a legitimately awful song. The area theme for New Los Angeles, the starting area, basically where the humans make their society on Mira. And it's the nighttime theme, and literally all it is a guy making sounds as if he's grunting on a toilet. I'm not even kidding. And that might not be a very fair way of putting it, but I mean maybe we need to put a clip on here to just illustrate just a few seconds. The guy is just sitting there going. I can't not imagine it, and then I immediately want to stop imagining it, and I'm just like, how? every time I go to New Los Angeles, if it's nighttime, I'm like, nope, switch today. Let's right away. We're good.
I wonder if they'll address that in the definitive edition.
That's what I was going to say. For Anthony's sake, with that being said, let's hope that maybe they introduce some newer soundtrack bits. I don't know. We'll see.
Here's the thing. I don't think they're going to fundamentally change the songs, which is what that song needs, in my opinion. But I do have hope that they're going to introduce some sort of like definitive edition remixes.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's ways they could probably spice up that song. Add some
Spicy bowel movements. My goodness.
Let's just have the singer eat some Taco Bell,
There you go.
and then we'll get to
No. What I'm calling for here is a musical equivalent of spraying some poopery on that song.
There you go. Nice.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
That's good.
anyhow, but I think it's safe to. In fact, I feel like they basically already confirmed that they're not changing fundamentally changing the music of the wider soundtrack. One of the trailers they showed had a clip from Black Tar, the main battle theme, which has rapping lyrics to it, and that's not my favorite thing in the world, but I actually did come to still find the song relatively hype as long as I mostly ignore the lyrics.
I just can't take the lyrics seriously.
They're kind of cringe, but I guess that also depends on your perspective. I don't know. It can be pretty hype. Anyway, I guess any other thoughts anyone wanted to share before I'll just kind of tie up some of the things that I wanted to say about it.
One thing I wanted to bring up is a lot of people have said this because Monolith Soft was involved. We wouldn't have Breath of the Wild without this game, without Xenoblade Chronicles X.
True.
Yep.
This is where they kind of broke the ground on making an open world style RPG, and so those two games share some DNA there, and that's one of the things that has me most excited to try it. Like Steven was saying, I might not be able to get it now this week because I'm saving for a Switch 2 that is going to be revealed shortly. I'm in more details about it. Even way back on the Wii U, when I was showing trailers for Xenoblade Chronicles X, I thought it looked amazing. The world looked amazing to explore. I don't know why I missed it the first time, because there were so few games to play on Wii U. The fact that I missed it the first time, it's improved now, new story content, it feels like this is the right time to finally play this game. So,
I see David 100%.
And I'm going to balance out my heresy to those of you who are super fans of Xenoblade X by making some genuine disclaimers about my overall opinion of the game. And the reason why, even though I have some strong opinions, that I'm still very excited. Honestly, I was excited by the announcement even before I saw that they were going to be doing new story content. That put me from excited to crazy hyped. So that's a big part of my interest here. But the original game was still a fantastic game, and in some ways introduced some elements to the gameplay that I think were best in series in a lot of ways. For example, being able to have a run button, for heaven's sake. I don't understand why the later games didn't keep that. I really don't. That would have been so great. And you're able to use that to like leap across giant chasms, and it's really cool. I don't know. Like
Wow,
that's not even the biggest thing. I remember the combat being really tight. Like the combat was an undeniable improvement over Xenoblade 1, and this of course was the very next game to come out in the series, quote unquote. So there was a lot of really cool refinements, and it looks like I guess we haven't been given a ton of details about changes they might be making to the combat system, if any, but that was undeniably one of its strong points, and I think that will still shine through. And also, the game gave you a lot of freedom for how you build your character, so that's still there. There's
Supposedly there's a lot more options too. It's gotten even more complex.
Well, at the very least, even if there weren't more options, I think the thing that I've heard they're doing, if I didn't hear incorrectly, is that they're giving you enough resources to be able to spec in different ways. Because one thing that Lisa and I both had complaints about with the original is that you had to have battle points to spec up, and amusingly, you did not get battle points from battle.
What?
You got them from story scenes, which meant there was a limited amount in the game. And if you spec'd in a way that you ended up not liking, too bad for you. You've used up all the battle points the game offers. So my understanding is they're making it not a permanently limited resource anymore, and so there's going to be more options for building your character and trying out different things. gameplay wise, this game has always been amazing. And I need that to be clear to the fandom as well as those who are coming into this, considering this game for the first time. This is a great game. This is just, my original disappointments were coming from the perspective of a super fan who was a little jaded by how many things they changed that I did not feel they needed to. That being said, this is an incredible game. And as David indicated earlier, it's got a powerful pedigree. It is basically the direct parent of one of the most well-loved games of all time and its follow-up. And so, we have a lot to thank this game for, and now we get to experience it again, but maybe this time in a way where it'll get its time in the sun. Okay, well, I'll just say, I would say, if you're at all interested in epic open world RPGs with lots of flesh to them and, and just fun ways to customize, this is one you should definitely check out. And I am also going into this with a lot of hope, even though I feel like there's, at least for the majority of the narrative, and I'm going to be careful here, I'm not sure how much they're going to be able to fix in terms of my personal opinions of the story, but just the mere fact that they're adding something new that looks like it's going to have a lot more importance to an overall plot, that has me crazy excited. The Xenoverse is a very lore-rich, fascinating place, and I'm not even close to being a Xeno scholar, but I'm still a really big fan. And if they're going to not only improve the story of Xenoblade X directly, but also connect it to that wider universe, they might just take out almost all of my complaints. And it'll just be that much better. I mean, we probably still have the bowel movement song, but you know what? Give me a new story. I can live with that.
There you go. My question is, for those of you who played it, so I guess Anthony and Lisa, something I've been listening to some videos on YouTube, and people are saying that the UI for the battles looks a lot cleaner, especially when battles get a little bit more hectic. Have you seen the battle UI in these new trailers to understand enough to make a judgment call on that? Like, does it look better, or have you not seen enough to make that judgment call yet?
No. I have not seen enough.
That's fair.
I have seen enough to think that it probably all comes down to making the UI large enough for the average human being to be able to read without a magnifying glass.
Oh, dang.
That was the problem with the original game, is that the text was all too small. And I didn't have a huge problem with it, but I can only imagine, that it was a big problem more generally, and then it would only be worse on the Switch if they didn't improve that. But it looks like, one of the things I consistently saw, fans of the original game being most excited about is like, oh my gosh, I can read the UI. Oh,
I thought I was blind, but now I see.
That's right. Especially
go
on like
ahead.
a Wii U gamepad. I don't know.
yeah.
I assume you could play on the Wii U gamepad by itself, but if that's the case, like, I can't even imagine trying to read small text on that screen with the resolution. I don't even remember what the resolution was. It was bad. But yeah, I can only imagine. Sorry, Austin, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just going to add to that. I think that that's one of the aspects that really excites me about this game is the visual improvements, the improvements to the HUD, the UI in general. Even without having played the original game, I'm just excited that they're making quality of life improvements. And they've also talked about adding some battle mechanics to speed things up. I think it was called like quick recall or something that allows you to use quick recast. Quick recast, which is an added mechanic, it says, that allows the players to spend meter to cast skills that are still on cooldown, speeding up the pace of the battle and improves DPS. So just things like that they're able to, they're taking feedback from people and they're listening, and I think that says a lot about their willingness to appease fans, I guess.
Yes.
Man,
I've also heard
recast,
that.
that has a lot of implications. That could be a game changer. Okay, sorry.
And there's a few, I don't remember them all, but I do remember that they announced online multiplayer, and I think it'd be really cool to have some live stream squad squad matches. I don't even know what they are. It's probably not, matches, just online missions that you do together. I think it'd be fun to probably to show that off on stream. So
yeah, I am
agree.
still kind of curious to see what form that takes, because originally when they were saying there's 32 player online, that I was thinking that was like everyone in the same world accomplishing a mission, and now it sounds like they're more recent statements. It sounds almost more similar to what I remember from the original game. But so I don't know what that means necessarily. I do know that they were saying there would be 4-player, like super boss missions where you're actually there, all are participating. So that's still something that would be exciting to see. But they kind of made it sound like there was going to be something new to the multiplayer aspect, and so I'm still keeping an eye open to see what they've done. Either way, it's probably going to be better than what the Wii U offered.
That's another one of those things where I'm excited to see what reviews say about it, because it's an opportunity. There were rumors that online playtest that happened last year might have something to do with online multiplayer in Xenoblade Chronicles X. I don't know. Like somebody's like, let's just, here's the description of the online playtest they did. They went through it like you're trying to find these beacons and lighting them up, and that helps the world resolve some problems or whatever. And like that sounds a lot like what you do in Xenoblade Chronicles X. Anyway, there was that potential that maybe there was a connection there. They were testing some new online feature for Xenoblade Chronicles X. It was nothing ever came from it. We still don't even know the full details of that online playtest. So, but the idea that maybe it is for Xenoblade Chronicles X and there's some really fun new online features. Like I'm almost picturing like Monster Hunter, like playing online with my friends, taking down big monsters in Xenoblade. That's real fun.
Really cool. They could totally do some, kind of a Monster Hunter light kind of thing there too. I mean, it would be really easy to add, like event missions where it's like, hey, this monster that you fought before, now it's level 200 and you gotta take it down with a team. I don't know. It could be pretty cool. So I think basically we can, boil this all down to, if I can speak for the rest of the panel real quick, just to say it seems like the biggest reason to be excited about this is that they're not only resurrecting a game that deserved more time in the sun than it got originally, but they seem to be giving it a spit shine that just suggests there's a lot of good things to look forward to. They're polishing up, seems like just about every aspect they can, from the big to the small, and then, of course, that's all topped off by a massive cherry on top of this pie being the new story stuff. And it looks like there's a non-trivial size to that thing, and I'm stoked. And so, there's a lot to look forward to, and we've only got a few more days before we get to find out what they've cooked up. So,
we dare hope that this new story is going to be like similar to Future Redeemed as far as size and scope.
That'd be awesome.
I mean, I'm not gonna. Part of me feels like I would probably expect it to be closer to like Future Connected in terms of scope, but I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. And I would love nothing more than for not only for it to tie into the wider universe, but maybe, no spoilers, into some of the ending themes for the current story we know. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Go play more, Steve, and then you'll find out.
Thank you. I will. Yes, sir.
So yes, thanks for listening to our thoughts. Please let us know if what your thoughts are about Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. Do you plan on picking it up? Are you excited? What are your feelings? Let us know in the comments. And stay tuned. We may end up doing a live stream of some sort of the game, because at least I'm getting it day one, and we're going to see what that means. But probably more content to come. But yeah, just a lot to look forward to here. And yeah, thanks for listening. And until next time, keep it nerdy.
Nerdy.